What's going on YouTube? Bendable Straws back with another video for you today, and we're going to be going over some Crucible defenses that might help you in the last 2 weeks we have of this season. As you guys can see, we are absolutely giving a rough time to these Odin players. This guy Lopi, he had Mephisto, Odin, and Captain Britain on offense and still could not get through us. My goodness. And we ended up promoting up to Diamond 2. Hopefully we can move into Diamond 3 and go 3-0 next round as well. We defeated Cube as well. He was also another Odin player, but he didn't attack any of his rounds. So I don't necessarily count that as a win, but this guy Lopi, man, oh my goodness. Let's see the results here. So we ended up doing a MOE Guardian into his Orcus in room 1, and we cleaned that up with new warriors. We ended up taking free-to-play Illuminati against his Black Knight out of time Dorm, and it worked out very well in room 2. We ended up doing Endgame Thanos, Gladiator, and Mercs for money, and we ended up one-shotting his Annihilators, Vol, Super Scroll in 3. And we did this in here. We did a Cabal Ares Doom, which worked out very well in 1924. And in room 5, we did Sup 6 Vulture Mysterio against his Spider Society, full Spider Society, and 5 with Black Cat. And in room 6, we did Tangled Emma, Red Hulk, and APOC into his Darkhold Quicksilver. Absolutely destroyed him. Now, this is going to catch you guys a little bit by surprise. So he ended up doing his Captain Britain Illuminati into my Black Knight Spider Society in 6. He ended up doing Mercs for Money Big Time into my Darkhold Night Stalker combo with Lizard and Quicksilver. And in room 4, he did Sup 6 Vulture Mysterio into the Bishop Extreme Rogue. And in room number 3, I feel like this is where he got lost a little bit. He ended up doing Cabal Mephisto Ares into my Orcus Vol Dorm team. There's a lot of revives going on in there, so that was a pretty safe bet taking Cabal. But I think Mephisto would have been used way better elsewhere. In room 2, this is where he crashed and burned. In room 2, he tried Gore, Doom, Omega Red, Odin, and Ultimus and couldn't beat the Mephisto Hive Mind. No idea why he tried that. Then he tried to go in it again with a Rogue, Robbie Hardlight, APOC, Odin. Still didn't get the job done. And then he had to go into it with an Odin MOE, which is actually fairly clean, but I should be adding a pre-taunt to this. Like, instead of like a Gwenum, I should be adding like a Sasquatch or something to keep the pressure away. So that's probably one thing that I'm going to be doing. And in room 1, he crashed and burned against my SD Scroll Noir. He ended up taking APOC, Hive Mind, Ultimus, completely got destroyed. And in this one, he left Super Scroll ready to ultimate turn 1. Came in here with new warriors, got absolutely obliterated. I mean obliterated. Scroll ulted turn 1. And then he tried to clean it up again and only killing Noir with a Lizard, Moon Knight, Omega Red, Eternals. It was really, 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 really bad. In my round 2, we went up against Let's Go. And of course he did his Cabal into my room 1. That is a sure thing there. In my room 2, he did a double sack into new warriors. Of course, that's going to take out a Hive Mind with Mephisto after a double sack. In room 3, he had a little bit of a rough time here. He tried bringing SD, Old Man Logan, APOC. No idea how this lost. Oh my goodness, I wish we could see combat cancels. Then he actually kept this and was only able to get rid of a Dorm and a Vol. And then he went in again to clean it up. And he combat canceled with MOE into room 4. Room 4 is very interesting because of the evade call out to the room. You never want to you really never want to bring in a Kang here because he's going to do his passive, and since Nightcrawler gives the evades, they're going to go immediately under stealth and you're stuck behind Bishop. And I don't know why he tried it once and then tried it again. It's not going to work. Of course, the Superior 6 can go straight through it, but he learned the hard way. In room 5, he ended up doing an Undying Tangled Dorm, which was able to get in front, spread ability blocks, yada yada. And even with a Spider Society here, I was fully expecting him to use Spider Society, or not Spider Society, using Tangled Web, excuse me. It's using Tangled Web into this with like an Omega Red, Nova Kestrel, yada yada. But he ended up taking an alternative, but I'm not necessarily sure if that dorm ended up reviving people. And in room 6, he ended up sacking the Black Knight with an NA and going into it with MOE, and ultimately that was able to give us the W. And I don't have any results here because, like I said, the guy didn't attack at all in room 1. So there is one thing that I do want to change about this defense. I'm going to be taking out Gwenum and putting in Sasquatch, because he will be soon to be 2 diamond, and he's going to be quite a pain to get rid of because he spawns with taunt and everything like that. So I definitely want to have a Sasquatch in here to be able to take some of the the brunt away from an attacker coming in and being able to just control Void Knight and all of that, right? So for my defense in room number 1, I have SD, all strikers with Noir and Super Scroll. Pretty much Noir is going to be taking the first turn, and then everybody's going to be assisting into that. And with the Super Scroll assists, it's very, very nice because with his basic, he removes positive effects, right? And or flips them. Not necessarily sure. I always forget about that. But this is a very dangerous team to fight. In that room, in that third round, the guy tried to APOC punch this Miss Marvel Hardlight, and she survived. I definitely want to put a 2 diamond on her. I thought that was pretty funny. And of course, we have the Mephisto Hive Mind with Sasquatch now, so because we definitely want to have a Preton in there. We have in room 3, we have Scientist Supreme, Sentinel, and Lady Deathstrike with Dorm and Vol. The idea behind this essentially is that Scientist Supreme has a chance to revive everybody, and that's going to be already a problem. With Dormammu, all of these revive. So if you're coming into this thinking that you're just going to one-shot it, you're going to need something pretty strong to be able to get through all of this. Because all of these guys get revived, right? If you kill Vol, she revives. If you kill Scientist Supreme, she revives. If you kill Dorm, they still keep their revives. Now, if you let Vol ultimate and you kill any of these guys except Dorm because he can't revive, Vol's just going to revive them again anyway. And if you kill Scientist Supreme, she's going to come back with the revive, of course. So it's a whole lot of nonsense, and you're going to be stuck behind a pre-taunt with Sentinel. So it's definitely reassuring. Definitely a good team. Very, very, very hard to get through. I originally, I think it was last week or the week before, I had a Super Scroll with Scientist Supreme. Because Scientist Supreme puts out negative effects, she is going to be speeding up Scroll by tons, absolutely tons, because he gains positive effects and negative effects. He gains turn meter off of positives and negative effects. So it's definitely a lot more reassuring than you think, because he's just going to be going flying in that comp. And of course, the Bishop Extreme Rogue here in room 4. You're going to be stuck behind a Bishop, and if your Kang goes and does that, you're definitely going to need like a sub 6 to go into this, because if you bring a Kang, he's just going to have a very hard time going into all of that. So, in room 5, we have a Lizard, Quicksilver, Moon Knight, Agatha, and Morgan Le Fay. This is sorta to shy away from the usual Tangled comp, because Lizard's going to speed up if you bring a Tangled Web in here. And if you bring too many Mystics, then Morgan Le Fay is going to be able to get in front of you and take the first turn. And of course, in room 6, we have a Black Knight and Spider Society. If you don't sack this, it's going to be quite the fight to try to get through, especially in this room where characters that drop below gain trauma when they use this. When they use a special ability, they'll gain ability block, and when this character uses an ultimate ability, they'll gain blind. So you definitely don't want that to happen to you. If you guys like this video and if it helped you out, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. It's gonna be a pretty interesting next 2 weeks. I definitely want to be able to push up into Masters 1 if I can. Hopefully next week I can push into Diamond 3, and then on the next week hopefully I can capitalize and go straight into Masters 1. So without further ado, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. And thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I will catch all of you guys in the next one.